So, you want to learn French. You looked at tourist attractions, general strikes, and someone smoking on a patio, and you said, I want to speak that. You sure about that? Really? Last chance? Alright. Grab your charcuterie and get ready for the ride of your life. What do you need to know? French is a descendant of the Latin language, alongside Spanish, Italian, and Portuguese, among others. Not only does it have shared roots with many languages, the French language is the origin of many languages' modern vocabularies, like ascenseur, camion, dessin. Whether for military or cultural influence, France has touched many languages, the most notable of which was English. Before France was France, the Normans controlled England, bringing with it 30% of modern English's vocabulary. Because of this, while French isn't the one and only descendant of Latin, it's probably the one that has been the most influential on existing languages, especially European. Yes, Spanish created more native speakers, but French version of words entered other languages, not Spanish. As such, French is in a unique position for speakers of very many languages. Just look at a piece of French writing and chances are you can guess a big percent of the vocab. Now, look at Thai and guess the meaning without having learned anything. Yeah, I thought so. Pro tip, please throw out your preconceived sound combinations. They don't work here. Although it may seem different from your native language, you can at least rely on the fact that is is a is e. Pro tip, for the love of God, learn the pronunciation at the beginning. This isn't Chinese, so you'll feel compelled to read everything as you would in your native language, but don't. Learn what each letter sounds like and what every combination does. Any effort at all, please don't destroy our ears.
Arrête! Est-ce que tu connais que je suis? J'ai payé pour toi. J'appelais, je dit, si tu sortis, tu jamais travailler ici encore. Vous êtes personne. Est-ce que tu comprends? Je peux ruiner toi.
Not only is pronunciation going to be a steep climb, you got conjugations up to wazoo. You got unique conjugations for me, you, he, she, it, we, you, plural, and they got lots of irregular verbs. And they got unique past tense forms. And some of those past tense forms use unique auxiliary verbs. And then when you think you've learned all the tenses, the subjunctive. The new game plus of languages.
Super Luigi Galaxy!
Every tense you loved before with a new set of stems and irregular verbs. And what triggers the subjunctive? You'll never get a clear answer. Pro tip, it's about feelings. I recommend memorizing common phrases that trigger it. That's way easier than understanding logic that's literally older than the Roman Empire. Save yourself trouble, memorize. You have to memorize those godforsaken verb forms anyway. And you thought verbs were easy? Grammatical gender. When you thought the memorization was over, you need to remember which of two main groups every single noun falls into, masculine and feminine. Caution, this has nothing to do with societal gender. Men usually are in the masculine group, women usually are in the feminine group. But the real logic behind the grouping is a thematic vowel from ancient times. But, like mountaintops and my brain cells after memorizing the subjunctive, these vowels eroded over the centuries, so you can't guess it instantly every time, but you can predict it the more you know. Here are some endings you should remember that usually predict that gender, aka the two arbitrary groups. Let's not forget French is not only the language of France, it is also spoken by a large amount of people in northern and western Africa, many island people, the Quebecois, Switzerland, Luxembourg, and Belgium. And that last one is significant because they didn't say 4, 20, 10, 6 for this number. They have words for 80 and 90, therefore we stand. Need textbooks? If you're a beginner, try Easy French Step-by-Step or Living French, a grammar-based course. If you're a more advanced learner, try French Grammar and Usage, the Routledge Reference Grammars, or the Routledge Essential French Grammar Book. I also recommend the Essential French Verbs, Barron's 501 French Verbs, and Exercises in French Phonics. For dictionaries, I recommend wordreference.com because they have examples and a conjugator, and I recommend Lingue and Reverso because both of these websites use actual text from the internet to give you very good examples with context. To practice the French language, watch some movies with French dubs on Netflix or Hulu, talk with natives on Hello Talk or Tandem, watch France 24 to read and listen to French. There are also tons of other ways to include French into your daily life, which I've talked about numerous times on this channel. After 1 month, 1 year, or 10 years, you might be lucky enough to reach this level of French.
Oui, oui, baguette. Bisous.
Literal queen. Hopefully this helps. You'll need it. Thank you for watching today. This was a lot of fun to make. I wanted to make like a general guide for learners while having a little fun with it. You can find more good tips for learning languages on my website. Link is in the description. And you can find me on my socials, linked below. So I'll see you for a new video very soon. Bye-bye.